everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, this is the Kathleen Hart lifestyle channel. I am currently 34 weeks pregnant with my second baby. I have a 22, almost 23-month-old son named Austin, and today's video we are going to delve into the Makena shot. This is a shot that I was recommended to get in the second pregnancy that I have right now, because my son was actually born at 36 weeks. So they recommended pretty much right off the bat that I start this shot to avoid another preterm labor. So what I'm going to be talking about in this video is my experience with the Makena shot. I would strongly suggest that if you have been, given the option to get it, you do your own research, talk to your doctor with any of your questions. This is just going to be my experience, just answering some of the questions that I had from the very beginning. Now going through it for so many weeks, I can kind of give my experience and then what the whole process was like for me. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely subscribe. Definitely give me a thumbs up if you guys like this video. This is kind of a little bit different for my channel. This is going to be like just my experience doing the Makena shot, but I wanted to give you guys pros and cons and just be completely honest with you about my experience. So I hope you guys will keep watching, but let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing is, what is the Makena shot? It's a hormone-based shot, and what they told me as far as why I'm taking it is to avoid another preterm labor. So what they told me that this will help with me is to strengthen my cervix and pretty much keep all of my amniotic fluid inside and not have it just be leaking out like I did the first time. So that is basically what happened with my first pregnancy. I don't have a video on that, but I will just briefly describe. At 36 weeks, I was leaking amniotic fluid. I went into the hospital on a Sunday night and got induced because of that, and my son was born on Monday morning. So it all happened very fast. It happened at 36 weeks exactly, because every Monday I changed a week. So on 36 weeks exactly, that's when my son was born. So knowing that information and then being pregnant a second time, they said start the Makena shot. I started it at 16 weeks and I have to take it until 36 weeks. So I actually just got it for this week. I have to get 2 more and then I am done. So where do you get the Makena shot? That was my big question, because I don't know why. I'm weird about needles. Certain places I'm fine with it. So they actually didn't give me an option for where I could get the shot, but I do know now that you can get it in 2 different places. So you could either get it in the back of your arm right here, or you can get it in kind of like your upper butt area, I would say. I am so glad that they did it in my backside, like upper butt, because you can barely feel it most of the time. And I think the key to that, which I would give anyone this tip who is going to get the shot, lean on something, lean forward, and then whatever side they're putting it on, lift that leg off the ground almost. Like put your heel in the air and put your toe like this, and literally put absolutely no weight on that leg, whatever side they're doing it on. Because every week you alternate sides if you're doing it in your back. So that makes such a big difference. If you put any weight on the side that they're doing it, it will hurt because of just the way that the needle goes in and the muscles and everything. So highly recommend just putting no weight on it at all and just kind of leaning forward onto like the exam chair or even like a counter. And that's definitely the best way to do that. I do not have any experience with getting it in the back of the arm. I'm just glad that that's not what my doctor would want me to do, only because it sounds extremely painful, and I'm sorry if that's where you have to get it, but maybe see if they can inject you in your back instead, because they didn't give me the option. But they asked me, every time I saw a new nurse, they asked me, oh, which arm is it going in? And I was like, oh no, it goes in my back. And they're like, oh, okay. So I don't know if it's common or if it's something you can request, but I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like the back would be better. So how do you get this shot and how much does it cost? For me, with my insurance, it cost me $0. I didn't have to pay a copay. I also didn't have to pay anything out of pocket to get this shot. It was completely covered. I do know though that the pharmacy that I had to deal with to get this is Walgreens. So my insurance just happens to use Walgreens as their specialty pharmacy. The only problem that I have encountered, this spoiler alert, with this shot is dealing with Walgreens pharmacy. It was terrible, terrible, terrible all around, and I'm not going to be going too much into it because I don't want this to be like a negative video or anything like that, but just know that it was very difficult for me to get my refills. I had to bug them and call them probably for each refill at least 10 times. I would have to call them to get the refill started, to check on the refill, to see when it was going to get delivered. It would always get hung up in the insurance department, and there was no reason for it because it was just another refill. So I know they have to go through the insurance every time, but unless I was calling and really pushing to get it and get it going and get it delivered, it probably still wouldn't come. So that's just something going into it that you might want to know, depending on what pharmacy you have to deal with, depending on your insurance. So that's probably the only negative, besides that it's a shot, and it's a shot that you have to get every week and it hurts. So let's just go into a little bit more about the shot itself. So it is a injected shot. I actually deal with the pharmacy, the specialty pharmacy, Walgreens. They ship it to my house. You can have it shipped to your doctor's office, but it just always got shipped to my house just from the very beginning. I don't know if that was just the person at the pharmacy who set it up that way, but that's how it started, and then we just continued with it that way. And it would come to my house. I would get 4 doses at a time. So I would get a 1-month supply each time for each refill. And actually, I just decided I'll just go grab one and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is what mine looks like. So it's the Makena shot, and this long H word is the, I guess you would call it a generic, I'm not sure, but this is the one that I get. It comes like this in a box. I get 4 at a time, and I'll show you what it looks like. It doesn't have to be refrigerated as far as I know. They told me no. I don't know if yours does, so read your instructions and I'm gonna tell you the wrong thing. But it comes in a little vial like this, and that is 1 dose. Okay, so I get 1 of these done every week. I bring the box just like this to my doctor's office. I have a nurse appointment set up, and they're very flexible with that. It's not an actual like office visit appointment. It's just me bringing it in. And now that I'm towards the end of the pregnancy, I usually just bring it with me to my every 2-week appointments now, because I'm going every 2 weeks. And yeah, they just inject it to me. They switch sides, so every side they alternate. And like I said, best tip I can give is don't put any weight on the side that they are going to inject you in. Just lean forward, pick your leg up, put absolutely no weight on it, and it literally should be painless. The only thing that I must say about this shot is that it's like in a needle that's kind of thick. So don't let that scare you though, because it doesn't really hurt. If anything, it stings a little bit after they take the needle out and they're done injecting you. For me, it just stings for like maybe like a minute. That's exactly what happened this last time. But because it's a thicker needle, they kind of have to push it in slowly. And I swear the one time the one nurse like literally took like 15 seconds to push this needle in, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting anxious. But then other nurses, they just like inject you and it takes 2 seconds. I've had both because I've gotten so many done. Like I said, I got it done from 16 weeks and I have to do 2 more injections up until 36 weeks. So I actually went onto Google and I Googled a couple of different questions that people had, like the common things that people asked about the Makena shot. One of the #1 questions, which is, I think is funny because I thought it too, is does the Makena shot make you gain weight? So when you're pregnant, I think that you get in this mindset where, for me at least, there's either 2 different ways this weight gain can go. First way is my first pregnancy, where I literally went YOLO. YOLO to the fullest. I was like, I'm pregnant for the first time. I'm gonna eat whatever I want. I'm eating for 2. No, I'm gonna actually eat for 3. I'm gonna eat until I'm stuffed, and then I'm gonna eat some more, and I'm gonna eat anything and everything that I'm thinking about craving, that I might crave tomorrow. Like, I was eating things in so much excess that it was ridiculous. And if I think about it now, it kind of makes me feel sick, literally. Who goes to Walmart? Who does this? Who clocks out of work, This is when I was driving into my office. Who clocks out of work for the day? You're done for the day. You're gonna go home, it's 4 o'clock. You're gonna go home and eat dinner at like 5 or 6. And you stop at Walmart, you buy a family-sized bag of Doritos, and you proceed to eat 3/4 of that bag. Who does that? That was me. And that wasn't just a one-time thing. That was an all-the-time thing. If I felt like one Dorito, I ate almost an entire bag because I couldn't physically stop. And I was like, I'm pregnant, I don't care. That was ridiculous. So that's the one way you can look at your pregnancy weight gain. The other way, which I am doing this time, is, okay, I'm going to have cravings. I'm gonna have food aversions, I get that. But I'm also going to be smart about it, I guess you could say. I have my healthy days. I have my Chick-fil-A, Starbucks days. It's all part of this pregnancy. However, I can sit here and say that this point in my pregnancy, I am 23 pounds less at this stage of my pregnancy than I was when I was pregnant with my son at this stage. So to me, I feel like it made such a world of difference. Number one, I don't feel so sluggish. Number two, I actually feel like my joints and my body are handling this pregnancy so much better because I'm just not carrying so much weight. And it literally has made such a big difference. So if I could recommend to anybody about pregnancy in general, just control it. You're gonna have cravings, but like you can give in to them, which I do all the time. But just keep in the back of your mind that you shouldn't YOLO. I'm not telling you not to YOLO, but just there's other consequences that come with it, which was like my joints always hurt. It was hard for me to physically stand up off the couch. Like it was crazy my first pregnancy. This time around, I'm doing a lot better. And as far as the Makena shot helping you lose or gain weight, I don't think it's made a difference. I think it's my mindset. I don't think that the hormone that's in it has affected me in a way where I have gained more or less. I think it's everything that I'm doing differently this pregnancy as far as how much I'm eating, what I'm eating, and my portions, how often I am giving into cravings, and how often I'm actually trying to eat a healthy and balanced diet. So, did the Makena shot make me gain excessive amounts of weight? No. Will it for you? I don't know, because it is a hormone. So it all depends how your body will react to the hormone itself, but that was my long-winded response. Okay, so besides weight gain, online a lot of people were concerned about if it gave you mood swings because it is a hormone-based shot. For me personally, I don't think so. Honestly, being pregnant, your hormones and your emotions and everything are just all over the place all the time, but the shot did not make it better or worse for me. If anything, this pregnancy, I don't know if it's because I'm having a girl this time versus having a boy. I feel like my emotions are a little bit better this time. I was a little bit more like, what's the word? Like I couldn't even go on social media because everything like made me upset, made me sad. Like if I read a comment the wrong way, even if someone didn't mean it in a mean way, like on YouTube, I would get really upset and it would bother me for like days. I would get stuck on things for days. This was in the very beginning. This is before I even started the shot. So this is like the first 3 months. And it's the worst too when you feel like that because you're not telling people yet that you're pregnant, or at least we didn't. So it was just crazy that those first like 3 months, those first 12 weeks where you're trying to keep it a secret is when I was the most like off the wall. But then I feel like everything kind of leveled out and I ended up being fine and I'm able to control my emotions a little bit more this pregnancy. So for me, the Makena shot didn't make it better or worse. I didn't even notice anything different with my mood. Like people were saying moodiness or just being overly emotional. But no, I think I was just the regular pregnancy emotional person. Nothing crazy, nothing over the top, especially after I started taking the shot. So 2 things here. A bunch of questions online were, does the shot cause headaches and does it make you tired? It does not make me tired. Felt normal pregnancy tiredness. It wasn't anything like narcolepsy or like extreme exhaustion or anything like that. Nothing out of the ordinary. And I'm chasing around a toddler, so I'm already tired. Nothing extraordinary as far as being tired. And then headaches. I haven't gotten any headaches this pregnancy. The only time I would get a headache is if I tried to not have coffee in the morning and that was just to like cut back, and I would get a headache by lunchtime. So I would have a little bit of coffee and then I would feel better, but that's my coffee addiction problem. That's not really the Makena shots issue. So the next issue was, does the Makena shot cause high blood pressure? Not for me, which is a great sign. Okay, and then also too, so you have to get this shot once a week. You have to get it at the same time, or the same day, not the same time, the same day every week. So if you start getting it on a Wednesday, you have to continue to get it on a Wednesday. That being said, when Christmas came around this year and New Year's Day, my doctor's office was closed. So I had to then shift to Thursdays. So as much as they say don't miss a dose, get it the same day of the week, every week, that can be sort of flexible. At the very beginning, when I was having a lot of issues with my pharmacy and getting the prescription on time, it was a mess. It was an S show because I was really nervous. Like, I have to take this by Wednesday and I don't even have it. It's not even gonna get delivered until Thursday. And then what if I can't get to the doctor's until Friday? It was really making me stress out unnecessarily, because what ended up happening a couple times during the course of me taking the shot, I was getting it every Wednesday. Then like I said, the holidays came around and I had to shift to Thursdays. And twice now, I've had to get it on a Friday, because I just didn't get it in time. The pharmacy didn't ship it out when they said they were going to. I had to call and complain, and then I didn't get it until Thursday night or Friday morning in some cases. The one day I had an appointment to get it injected at 10:40, it didn't get delivered to my house until 10 o'clock. So it was like right down to the wire on Friday. So as much as they say you can't miss it, it was okay for me to miss it when the office was closed for Christmas and New Year's Day. So I don't know. I don't know how important that is, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not, you know, the nurse giving it to me. But I do know for myself that I have gotten it on Wednesdays, then it shifted to Thursdays, and twice now I've had to get it on a Friday instead. And then we just went back after that to getting it every Thursday. And also, I think I should mention, I call it the Makena shot. Sometimes people will call it the Makena shot. A couple of my nurses called it Makena. And then the generic one, I'm gonna read the box, because every time I would call to get a refill, they would call it the hydroxyprogesterone. They would also call it the Capro. So caproate injection. Yeah, they would call it hydroxycapro. So those are the different kind of names too that they'll mention and say for the same product. But like I said, it's been called a million different things. I don't know what the correct term is. If you do, let me know. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I will definitely do a part 2. If anybody has any additional questions, definitely leave them down in the comments below. I would love to answer them and give you my take on it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. Definitely talk to your doctor. If you have serious questions about it or having an issue with taking it, talk to your doctor as well. Just a little disclaimer. But any like general questions about my experience, I would love to answer them for you guys. Just put them in the comments down below. But yeah, it's almost time for baby girl to arrive. I am so flippin' excited. I am doing pregnancy updates now. I'm gonna try to do them once a week for you guys since we're getting so close. And I know this video is about trying to prevent a preterm labor, but anything is possible. If you know anything about being pregnant and going into labor, anything is possible. So I'm at 34 weeks now. Anything's possible. So who knows? I'm gonna start doing the updates weekly for you guys. If you wanna check out some of my previous updates, I will definitely put them down in the comments below. I have a whole playlist all set up for you. I hope you guys will consider subscribing so that you don't miss any new updates with this baby and just life in general over here at the Hart house. But I hope you guys like this one. I will see you really soon with a new video, but until then, I think I'm done now. Hope you guys liked it. See you in the next one. Bye.